Good afternoon everyone, I'm KingBlackToof and allow me to share this Square Tail Crow's Eye deck with you. Tier 3, maybe a little worse, it's unoptimized I would say. You can definitely switch some cards out, try your hardest to optimize it a little bit more. But I am having a bit of fun with this because again, it's hipster, no one's really using it ever at all. And it feels really good when you get Crow's Eye for massive value. The tempo swings feels really nice. So allow me to explain. I'm also going to go over some of the issues that I've had with the deck, so maybe you can think about how you want to solve that if you want to. So the main card is obviously Crow's Eye. This deals 4 damage to the highest enemy on each row and deals 1 extra damage for each copy of this card in the graveyard. So it's a mix between Mahakamail, you know, it does 4/4/4, so 12 value, but it hits the highest enemy, which is more like Expired Ale. So you're not going to lose value by hitting a random enemy, which is 1 strength. Okay, it's going to hit the highest enemy on each row, which is guaranteed to get at least, you know, the most optimal damage you can. Now, the added extra is really the interesting aspect of this card. Deal 1 extra damage for each copy of this card in the graveyard. So the more times you use it, the more powerful it gets. It does 4/4/4, 5/5/5, then 6/6/6, then 7/7/7, and you know, it starts to just get really good value as the more times you play it. And that's what this deck is built around. So we've got Elven Mercenaries to play the Crow's Eye initially. We've got the Sages to replay them more. They do banish them, so obviously you'll have less cards in the graveyard, but don't worry, we do play it in a particular order where we'll get maximum optimal value before we start banishing them, and even then these guys are still going to be quite strong when they play them. We've got Dwarven Mercenaries and Vryhead Brigades. These are for their movement potentials, although they're quite, you know, secondary buffs and weather clears. But the idea I put these in for is because if they're not, you know, spreading around on 3 different rows, you're going to lose a lot of value. So if they're stacking, you have to move them to different rows, and so you need quite a few movement cards to get full value from your Crow's Eye. Now we've got Marching Orders. This will pull Elven Mercenaries initially, which is the most important, so you can actually play those Crow's Eyes, and Sages later, which could be quite important. We've also got Ida Amin, which is a nice bit of safety there. We don't necessarily need her for weather clear. We've got plenty of Vryheads, but she's a nice full weather clear in Owl's Thunder and stuff like that. We've got Roach for thinning, Kieran just as a nice movement card as well as a lock. We've also got Pit Trap and Iris von Everich. Now I've chose these 2 cards, and these kind of cards I don't necessarily think are working wholly that well, so they consider removing them. But the idea was, when you play the Crow's Eye and the opponent sees that you're playing quite a few Crow's Eye, they're going to start stacking instead of, you know, spreading around, giving your Crow's Eye value. So you play Crow's Eye, they think, oh, okay, let's stack on a row heavily. So they'll stack on a row heavily, and then you Pit Trap them. And then, you know, Pit Trap's natural combo is Iris, where just you place it on the Pit Trap and you get 25 value pretty much for free there. So that was the idea. It's not as easy to pull off as you might think, I think. So I'm a bit iffy about those 2. For gold, we've got Royal Decree, Isengrim Outlaw, Just Telekinesis, and Saskia. Saskia gets you your Elven Mercenaries, gets you your Sages if you need them, or weather clears or movement or whatever you need. Isengrim Outlaws allows you to play bronze or silver special cards, so Pit Trap, Marching Orders, maybe even Crow's Eye if you don't have the Elven Mercenary. And finally, Just Telekinesis is the really good cream of the crop here, where she creates another version of Crow's Eye out of nowhere, which is great, because that means we've got more versions in the graveyard, therefore they do more damage. So our leader card is Ethne as well, to replay Crow's Eye. So the basic premise is, you play a version of Crow's Eye, it does 4/4/4, and then you play another one, 5/5/5, another one, 6/6/6, and then you use Just Telekinesis to play another one, 7/7/7. That's 21 value plus the 6 there. And then you play your leader card, which just replays one, so again another 7/7/7. And then you start playing your Sages, which is then 7/7/7, because it doesn't count as being not in the graveyard when a Sage plays it. It banishes it afterwards. So it's 4/4/4, 5/5/5, 6/6/6, 7/7/7, 7/7/7, 7/7/7, 6/6/6, 5/5/5. That's a lot of value, and that is what this deck is all about. Just a nice bit of fun. Feels really good to get that when you can, but it's difficult because one of the issues that I had with the deck, I think, is proactive plays. Crow's Eye is really only good once you've started to have units on the board. So what do you do in the meantime? Well, it seems like I play Ida. It seems like I might play Eastern Grim into just create. I might play a Dwarven Mercenary, start buffing my own units, just while I'm waiting for the opponent to populate their board a little bit so Crow's Eye actually has targets. And that was one of the issues, just you need to be like 3 or 4 turns in before you can even start playing them for any decent value. And getting to round 3 is a really nice thing to do because then you're just going to get so much tempo there. And that was the biggest issue with the deck, I think, just you have to wait. You've got no real big proactive plays here. So maybe you can adjust that. In the meantime, though, check out the game and have a go with the deck if you'd like. Again, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you again another time very soon. Take care of yourself. Okay, we don't want any Crow's Eye in this deck. We're going to pull them all with this. We probably don't want one of those yet. We've got her, which is great. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Him going first is great. So, if you're not aware of what Crow's Eye do, because not many people play it, you deal 4 damage to the highest enemy on each row. So it's like a reverse Mahakamail. However, it's got the added benefit of dealing 1 extra damage for each copy of this card in your graveyard. So initially it does 4/4/4, but then when you use the second copy it does 5/5/5. When you do the third copy it does 6/6/6. And when you use the 4th copy, which we can get because we've got Triss Telekinesis to create another one, it'll do 7/7/7. Whether he's going to stack or not. I'm going to use this.
No mercy!
Why have you summoned me?
If it needs to be done, I know a lot of people say, oh, this is still in beta, so you can't really say this sort of thing, but the game is still in beta, so if they want to change things, they can before it releases. Although, you know, I think I got very emotional on the first day. There's a lot of negativity around.
Well then, let's get to work.
And it sort of grabbed hold of me, I suppose.
Wow.
I didn't really want to do that. I think a lot of people will leave, yes, in the 6 months. They will definitely come back, but I think they will leave. I think after the premium weekend, a lot of people are going to go, and then they'll come back for May, and then they can cut your cards down. Hello, Menity and Zeddy Boy. Ad Monkey, nice to see you. But yeah, people will leave, and Jersey and Hydens and Hardens and everyone. Hello to everyone, there you go. But yeah, I've got a nice plan of what I'm gonna do. I had issues. I mean, it's still gonna be kind of bad. The issues hasn't changed, but I do have a plan, at least some plans. Okay, so I haven't revealed in any sense that I've got Crow's Eye. So, hopefully. Burge just said, patch. The premium weekend should be... What patch? Oh, right. I keep calling it a premium weekend. It's probably not on the non-weekend, is it?
Why have you summoned me?
Holy shit. That was a little mistake. Did you notice?
We'll win.
Roach, what are you doing?
Salutations. Death to Old One! Stand and fight.
Crow's Eye. Well, the thing is, my thought process, get nuts, was as soon as you start using Crow's Eye, it makes them stack, and then you throw down the pit trap. You know.
Have strength, my love.
Our pyres will light up the north.
The storm is coming. Let's enjoy the weather while we still can.
He's putting them in the middle, but I've shown that I've got Crow's Eye. Very confusing. Very confusing period for
Have
people.
Strength, my love.
It's smart. The deck doesn't work that well. We haven't really got any proactive plays. We have to wait until several turns in before they do that sort of stuff. Please don't kill my units yet.
I've had men
No
killed
good.
for less.
And now each of my Crow's Eye is doing, that's just 444, that does 555, 666. This one will do 777. And then she'll do 777. And then you go Sages back down to 777, 666. Well, 666, 555, 444. But I think I might do this first. Will it die first or not?
I'm so very,
No, it won't.
very afraid.
Alright. We can always use another thing on that. Oh my god. That's unfortunate.
Just great.
This one does 777, as you can see. And then she'll repeat 777 if I feel like something else is not more worthwhile. We've got Pit Trap.
Humans have no place in Broccolon.
Bit of BM, a little bit of BM. But you can see my idea, but I do think maybe Pit Trap and Iris don't work very well. Yeah, hazards do act last, but this is an on-contact one, so it works slightly different. Does it buff before it goes on the board? Does it need to be placed on the board before it gets buffed? It turns out it gets buffed before it goes onto the board.